Good morning. Ooh, rough night last night. I got in around midnight, and the crazy thing was that the wind came up at 4 o'clock in the morning and started blowing hard. And one of the things that happens here under high winds is out over here, it blows the road closed. And already there's drifts probably 3 and 4 feet high that if they fill in, I'm stuck here again. So I'm going to drive out there a little bit later today and make sure that the wind didn't blow my exit closed, and it's supposed to even get worse today, up to 50-mile-an-hour gusts. So I might park my car a mile down the road and then just walk back to the cabin. But handful of things to do today. It's kind of almost like Groundhog Day for me, because it's been a month since I was here, and it's middle to late February now. And what I came out here to do is cut up that other pile of wood and burn it, but under the wind conditions, there's no way I'm going to get to burn it. So I'm going to cut it and prep it. We have that other log down on my trail over here that I've got to get that log cut up and turned into firewood. Check the trail cams, got to do my morning snow shoveling. But man, if you look, it has really filled in. I mean, look at how much snow there is now. It's up as high as my deck. And I also have to get my birds fed. I got a bird feeder over there that needs to be taken care of. So we'll start with this, and there's a lot of tracks down here, so I can't wait to get the trail cams checked, because for the first time in quite some time, I've seen tracks all over the place. So let's get to work. I've been way too lazy this morning so far, and I'm on limited time, so let's get after it. Oh, and incidentally, it is 32 degrees here, which would be 0 Celsius, so we're above freezing, so it should make the day's work a little bit easier. I'm not crazy with the t-shirt on. I just know I'm going to do some work, and I want to not sweat. So let's go. Like I said, Groundhog Day, same thing as last time. Next stop, bird feeder. Fruit and nuts for my birdies. I think now we'll get the snowshoes on. We'll probably go check some trail cams, beat down some paths, because I can't even get over to my woodshed right now because the snow's too deep. And I just soon not have snow going down my boots. Weird thing about the snow, it's got a crunchy layer on top and it just turns to fine powdery sand underneath, so it's really easy to get stuck with a car on this thing. But packing it down also is not the easiest thing, but makes it a lot better for getting wood later tonight when it's cold. All right, let's head for the trail cams. This is the road or the trail we're going to work on a little bit later today. that I got to cut this piece up and hopefully get some nice firewood out of. But on my way down to the trail cams. Well, the deer have definitely been active. There's a lot of trails like this going through here, but it's just deer dragging their feet. My favorite tree on the whole property, this old dead twisted pine. Kind of like I said earlier, deja vu, Groundhog Day, whatever you want to call it. Trudging through the snow, but what's interesting, there were no tracks left from last time I was out here. So we are getting snow. I guess I know what I'll be doing later. First of all, look at all these tracks. I might need to move my trail cams a little bit to catch what's going by. I'm thinking rabbit and fox on that one, but darn, I gotta dig out my wood pile again. So I guess that's another thing I'll be doing later today. Yeah, a lot of animal action down here as well, but underneath there somewhere is the fire pit. And remember, that fire pit's about 2 feet deep. And, well, look at the chairs over there. It's way up past the seat, so a lot of snow. Okay, this is what I was worried about. Earlier I told you about the wind and stuff. So they do plow this road. It's minimum maintenance. So maybe a couple of times a year it gets plowed. And right now it's in pretty good shape, but you can see that if the wind comes in and really starts ripping, it blows all the snow off the peaks to my left here, and it fills this in. But these, you can see, they're 4 feet tall. On the right hand side it's taller, but the wind always comes from the left. You can see that, and it goes quite a ways until it clears out down below here. So anyway, it must have a hard enough crust on it right now that the wind's not blowing it, so I feel confident in leaving my car back over by the cabin so I don't have to do this hike back and forth. Plus there's not enough snow on the road for me to be pulling my sled anyway. So anyway, that's what we look like here. I'm going to quick show you over here. This is where all the snow blows in off of. that ridge up there, and it can blow for miles to get to our place. Well, here we go. Let's get this thing cut up. See if we can't make some firewood out of it real quick. By the way, I already filled it with gas, bar oil on it, and I resharpened the chain before we're getting started today. So I got a good fresh start with my chainsaw. Well, that made some fast work of that, so now I just got to stack it up and put it on my sled, bring it over to the woodshed. This stuff is all too rotten to use. Well, maybe not all of it, some of it. All right. I'll have to wait till the snow is gone to finish this up. But this stuff's gonna sit for a while. All right, this might be it for the day. Last job. So one of the issues we have with our tank is that the sun shines directly on it, as you can see, and it's about 1 p.m. so it gets a lot of sun. So I got this cover for this for two reasons. One, to keep the sun out and keep it from getting algae inside. Second is heat. This black should help heat up this tank a lot better, allowing us to use it later into the fall and earlier in the spring. So got it off of Amazon. They're about 30 bucks. So we'll see how this thing works out. It's got little clasps in the corners right here, and these are going to be great because I can run them right through the framing here. Clip it on and never have to worry about that thing coming off. Well, that's pretty cool. It does have an elastic band that goes around underneath the bottom, so it really cinches it down nice. So the wind shouldn't be a factor with this, and hopefully this will really heat it up nicely. So I'm not sure how much of this I'm going to share with you tonight, but I did want you to have an idea of what I was going to be having for dinner. I've got some whitefish and then some potatoes that I slivered out, and what I'm going to do is first fry the potatoes in the cast iron pan, and then I will dip the fish into my batter and put breadcrumbs with lemon pepper on the fish itself and fry that after the fact. And a little trick I learned from my mom when it comes to frying and not burning your food is that use a mixture of 50-50 Crisco to butter, and that way it won't burn to your pan or burn your food. So we're going to give it a try. I'll show you once I get everything going what it looks like. There you can see that's an awful lot of butter and Crisco, but that'll melt up real nice, and that'll have a nice amount to be frying with. Just a quick little comment. Whoa, almost knocked over my camera. Quick commentary on this. You know, the reason I built the roof over this side of the deck was just exactly for this reason. Be able to fry stuff and not have all that grease get inside the house. But I know there's a lot of folks out there with their channels that cook outside, and they do it a little more, I'll call it rustic than I do. They'll do it over a campfire, and hey, I love doing that in the summertime too, but you know, off-grid doesn't mean it has to be hard or dirty or you have to be sitting in a snowbank. You can do it this way too. Everything, as you all know, on my place is off-grid. Solar, using gas and propane stoves, wood burning, you know, heat. So you don't have to be uncomfortable to enjoy yourself or to have some fun off-grid. So anyway, just thought I'd share a little bit of my thoughts on that as well. Oh, those look good and done. already know it's delicious because I've been sampling as we go, but I added some broccoli. And in an earlier video, I had said I do my broccoli in the grease from bacon, and it just adds just a really nice flavor to it. So I'll throw a little bit of lemon maybe on the broccoli and on the fish, but fish and chips with broccoli, how about that for off-grid cooking? So it's time for bed for me, but before, I'm gonna take a shower again like I did in the last video, but I'm not gonna film it. But I've been heating water on the wood burning stove all day from snow. And then over here, I want to explain this a little bit. This is what I use for the actual shower. It's a little pump is what it is. And this piece right here drops into the hot water bucket. It plugs in to the side of the battery pack, and you push the button and it turns on. And it runs water at about a rate of just under a gallon a minute, about 0.8 gallons per minute. So it's perfect for me out here. I've got about 4 gallons worth, so I can take almost a 5-minute shower tonight outside. So anyway, that's what I was using last time that I didn't explain very well. Good night, and we'll see you in the morning. So actually, here's the whole setup. I've got this pot full of water, and there you can see the pump drops in there, and it's connected outside here to the battery pack up to a shower head that I just have hanging on the wall or on the post. And then down there, I will stand in my black sled, and that way I could take the water and dump it down the hill and not have it going underneath my cabin. So, hey, I think I said this last time, where there's a will, there's a way. And I have figured out how to shower in the winter. Well, good morning. Yeah, that's pretty much what it's been like all morning long and all night long last night. The wind has been just absolutely howling here. So getting a good test of the wind generator. But even though it's windy, I'm still in the mountains and it's still a beautiful day. So we're gonna probably do a little bit of cleanup around here today. I'll go shovel off my log pile, make sure that that can get some sun on it and start to dry out for when spring eventually does get here. But so far, man, I've had a great time. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. I slept in. I just got out of bed a couple of minutes ago, heating the cabin up. And we'll check in a little bit later right before I go home. Boy, this wind is just not giving up today. We're gonna go down to a wood pile though and clean that up now and see if we can't make sure this stuff starts drying out. You know what? I gotta go back and put my snowshoes on. It's a little bit deep. All right, that's better. Now you can hear me clobbing through the deep snow. Man, if you're looking, there are tracks everywhere down in here. And now we know because we looked last time and it was probably some bobcat and stuff. So let's set down and get to shoveling. See the rabbit just take off down the hill? Must be living under here. That's it. I think we're gonna call it a day. I gotta clean up the house a little bit, then we're gonna be done. So
I'm gonna actually move a trail cam from down over there up in here. I'd really like to see what's running around in this area. So hopefully in a couple of weeks I'll have some new great video for you all. But thanks for watching. Remember, do it yourself.